Hello, my friends. I'm so sorry I'm late today. Running around like a mad chicken, I guess. Hey, I have a great card to share with you today. It's a how to make a wow window pocket card. And I'm using a new bundle from the mini catalog, the Rustic Crate Bundle. And there's a beautiful window on the front. And one thing I love about the Rustic Crate Bundle is that there's images for all seasons. So, hi there, welcome. I'm Verna Mullen from Stampin' Notes. I'm coming to you from Western New York. Hi, Renee, and Kathy, and Margaret. Yes, there I am. Okay, I hope you can see me now, okay? It is overcast here in Western New York, too. I'm looking at blue jays outside my window at the moment, flittering around. You can follow me here on my Facebook page. I'm here every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or my YouTube channel. And if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you will be hit subscribe and hit notifications, and you will be notified when I go live. So shop with me this month. I have a wonderful rewards program. And if you shop with me, you will receive, for whatever amount order, a beautiful tutorial featuring cards with Perched in a Tree stamp set and the One Horse Open Sleigh Designer Series paper. Let me grab them quickly to show you. They're just gorgeous, and it's a PDF tutorial for each of these cards. There's a tutorial. This one has a pull-out card. And this one, and this one. If your order is $50 or more, choose anything of $10 value or less, and from the catalog that you would like, and I will send that to you at the end of the month or beginning of next month as a thank you. And if you want to track your orders, for every $50 you get a point, and when you receive 5 points, you earn a stamp set of your choice from the catalog. You do have to track it. I have a little reward sheet, and you can grab that on my blog. There's a little link at the top that says loyalty rewards. So, hey Rosalie, good to see you girls. Oh my, it has been, we've gone from like sunny, warm weather to, just kind of drizzly fall weather. All right, so let's get started. And thank you for participating last week. If you share, especially share or comment, you'll be put into a drawing for some goodies. And last week's winner was Barb Ryben. I hope I'm saying your last name right, Barb. And I'm going to go to my project view, and there she is, Barb. And this is the host code for September, 9HYHTK3. Okay, so let me show you that bundle. It is so cute. So this is the stamp set, and you see you have poinsettias for Christmas or holidays. I think this is lavender and some kind of foliage. Maybe it's not lavender, but it reminds me of lavender. You have the pumpkins and corn, sunflowers. That's the one we're going to be working with today. And here's another crate image. The sentiments are: every day with you is better, blessed beyond measure, for you and good things take time. And let me show you the dies. The smaller dies I've die cut so you could see them better, but these two together make the crate. And I don't know if you can see, that's kind of has embossing on it. Hey Carol. And I love this hello, this little die cut hello. This is the handle for the crate, and there's some garden gloves. And these are for decorations on the crate, like this could be like where you have like initials or something. This is like the little bars on the ends. So, and then the other dies are, here's everything, but there's a die for the image of the stamped crate side, and here's the crates. And then there's outside border cutouts for the poinsettias, the fall foliage, and then the flowers too. So really nice set to have. So let's get started with our card, and we're going to start today with a piece of pecan pie. Do you guys say pecan? We say pecan in this area, but there's different ways of saying that. And it's 10.5 by 5.5. And we're going to do some scoring. I got to grab my measurements. Oh, and this is a card with a lot of die cuts. So I did a regular tutorial, and the tutorial is on my blog. And I will add the link to my YouTube description and also in the comments below here on my Facebook page. Alright, so this is 10.5 by 5.5. Let me just make sure this is 10.5. And I'm using our trimmer, which is a gem. I use it every time I stamp, make a card. And it has this long arm that pulls out. It's 5.5 inches wide, and then on the side here are our cutting blade, which is black, and our scoring blade, which is gray color. So we need to score this to make it easier to fold, and we're going to score it at 3.5, which is right here. And then we're going to score that down at 7, which is right here. All right. Set the trimmer aside. And we're going to make a Z fold. And you know what? I'm going to make sure this is right because it's not folded right. I'm wondering if I cut this piece too long here. Let's make sure here. Okay, it is 10.5. And it is 5.5. We're going to score it at 3.5. Oh, that's what I did. I didn't score it at 3.5. Okay. 3.5. And then at 7. Okay. So the 3.5 is right here, this one. All right, this should be better. Thank you so much for sharing, Carol. Hey, Miss Rosalie, Margaret. Glad to know you can see and hear me. Okay, so we have this little 3-panel card, and we're going to ignore this right here. That's going to be covered up. We won't even see that. And I'm going to grab my bone folder and just burnish that. I'm going to burnish this one. Okay, so we've got those burnished. Alright, we're going to start with the front on this. And I have a piece that is 5.25 by 3.25. This is narrow. This is kind of a narrow card. And this is 5.25 by 3.25, and I've embossed it with a timber embossing folder because we want this to look like the front of a house, or thereabouts the front of a house. And so that's what I embossed it with, and we're going to go ahead and adhere this on the front. So this is our front right here. And with all the little nooks and crannies, I like to use our Tombow liquid glue. This is the same as the liquid glue Stampin' Up sells. I just have put it in a fine needle nose glue bottle because I like it. It gets really messy for me in the other bottle. All right, and you'll notice I've kind of put a little extra on the edges there, and you'll see why in a minute. All right, so this is going to go on the front, just like that. I'm going to wipe that. We'll press that down. I'm going to wipe my fingers because like I have a little glue on them. Does anybody else have problems with sticky glue on your fingers? All right, so now we're going to make our window in the center here, and I am using this die from the Stitched Radiating Dies set for our window. I'm going to go ahead and center it where I want it on there. I want it a little bit of wider from the bottom up to the window there, and less of a distance from the top of the card down to there. Okay, and I'm going to grab some Post-it tape, which is my friend when I am die cutting. Okay, so I want it about like that. I'm just gonna add a couple pieces. Well, probably one, well, I'll add another one, just to be sure. And I'm gonna bring in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. This is the big one. The smaller one, I think you can only use on paper that's like, 3 inches wide, I believe. Where this will go 5.5 to 6. All right, so our plates. We've got the bottom plate, plate number 1. This is plate number 2, and mine is really warped. I'm going to set that right there. And then our cutting plates. I always put the one that is scratched up the most on the bottom, and the nicer one on top. Not that this one is really nice. And then I get rid of them. I'll get rid of the worst one, and the nicer one will go to the bottom, and a new one will go to the top. All right, so we're going to lay that on there and crank this through. And I'm going to crank it back through because we're going through 2 pieces of cardstock there. I'm going to set this down. Can move these aside. Margaret I heard that hand sanitizer works well for that, Margaret. That is a good idea. Okay. I'm lifting this up very carefully because, as you can see, picking up a little bit of that paper. Oh, bugs. And that's what I didn't want it to do. All right, so these pieces you can use for something else. I'm going to carefully take this off. We don't want it pulling any paper up. All right, so when it was running through the embossing machine, a little glue came out here. So what I'll do is, when that dries, I'll take my handy dandy glue eraser and I'll show you what that looks like. They're available from Amazon. Let me grab that to show you. Well, maybe it was right here, but I had it out earlier. It is a little rubber tool. And that rubber, you just rub. Oh, here's another one. Okay, so they don't cost much. This is what they are. And you just go like this, when that dries, it'll pull that sticky adhesive right off there. So there's two things I've used from Amazon today, the Post-it note stickers and sticky tape and the rubber glue remover. Okay, now I'm going to turn this over and we're going to put a window pane in here, a piece of window sheet. And I'm going to use my little glue plastic, it's not plastic. Oh, what do you call these things? Can't remember. It'll come to me in a minute. It's for gluing because the glue will not stick to it. The white glue will just dry up. All right, so we're going to lay this on here like this. I'm bringing my Seal Plus, or you can use tear and tape. And I'm going to just go around the edge like this. And if any gets on the inside, you just take your finger and fold it up like that. We'll go down this side. We'll do this side. Missed a little bit there. And up this side. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Silicone. And Renee. And Carol. Hi, Dominique. Oh, nice to have you all the way from France. Okay. Here we go. Now, I have a window sheet. And this window sheet is measurements. Let me put it on here and then I'll read the measurements to you. And it doesn't matter that this glue is, the adhesive is outside of the window because we're going to cover that. All right, the window sheet is 2 3/8 by 3 5/8. All right. And we're gonna decorate our window. We're gonna put some curtains in the window, and we're gonna have a window box on the front. So the curtains are made with the Zany Zoo dies, and so is the valance here. I'm gonna cut this down. Let me show you the Zany Zoo dies. Okay, so these are those dies, and I've used the curtain die, and I've used this for the valance. All right, so we want our valance to go on there first. And I will be showing some more versions of the Rustic Crate cards that aren't so detailed this week. I realized this is really detailed and I wanted to show it on my live. But I'll be doing some reels of ones that are beautiful. They're just not as many pieces. Okay. And this piece here is 1 inch by 2 3/4, I believe. But it will all be in the directions. Okay, now these curtains we're gonna put underneath the edge of the valance. And I'm just gonna adhere them at the, well, that's sticking to the side there. I want just a little bit of adhesive at the top. All right, and they may not, well, that's got to go up farther. It won't go all the way to the bottom, but that's going to be covered by our crate that's going to go on the front. And then I'm going to put this one on, and then I'm going to turn it over and see, whoops, wrong side. Then I'm going to turn it over and see if they look even. And if not, we can move them around. And this is Inked Botanicals Designer Series paper. Okay, and so this, they look pretty good, except there's some glue on this. So you want to be careful about getting glue on your window sheet. You might know I've made several of these and haven't had this happen, but we'll see if we can fix that and make it go away. Okay, so let's look at this again. All right, that looks pretty even. All right, now I want this, when somebody's looking in this window, to have a homey look. So I want to use a rocking chair. So I'm going to take a piece of very vanilla cardstock that's cut at 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. And that is gonna go, we're gonna set it right here, right now, but it's gonna be, we're gonna flip it over into the window scene here. So I'm gonna bring in a blending brush and a little bit of Daffodil Delight for the center of this. So it looks like there's a little glow around that chair. I'm going to grab a piece of card scrap. Not card, it's typing paper. And I just want it really light in the center here, but we want it noticeable. Okay, so that's probably good enough. All right. And I've got a die cut rocking chair from the Lazy Days dies. I'll show you those dies. This is a really cool set with the stamps. It's kind of summery, but you can use it for any time of years. But I love this rocking chair die. And I've also used the pillow die because we're going to put a pillow in the rocking chair. There's also a rocking chair die. If you stamp the rocking chair, you can use that. So I've already, to save time, I've already cut those out. Here's the rocking chair. And here is the pillow. I'm going to wait on putting the pillow in there. So I want my rocking chair to be about probably up in here. Maybe down a little further. Maybe about like that. So probably about here. Let's just tack a little glue on here and see if that's where I want it or if we want it down a little farther. All right, so let's fold this over and maybe down just a tad, a little bit, about like there in the center. Okay, so now I'm not gonna put a ton of glue on this because it's not gonna go anywhere because it's gonna be between this and the window. Hi, Phyllis. All right, let's see. Okay, so let's put our pillow in there. And this is the little pillow. And we're gonna put it right between, right in there like that. And just a tad of a dot of glue to hold that in place. And this is cut from the back of the All About Autumn Designer Series paper. All right. So let's look at this again. Actually, I think I'll just go ahead and All right. I'm going to go ahead and put the adhesive on here. And then we are going to put it down, see what it looks like, and then move it if we need to. Does anybody else have the Rustic Crate set? Alright, so we're centering it face down on the inside of the front panel. Okay, so that's good. That's the way I want it. And we will just let that dry a little bit. Now I'm going to take a piece of the Autumn, All About Autumn Designer Series paper. I'm grabbing some scraps here. This actually is going to be our sentiment piece, but we're going to go back to the front and finish the front. Alright, so this is what we've got so far. I'm bringing in a scrap piece of Very Vanilla. I'm going to stamp my little crate produce image on that. I'm using Memento black ink because that will hold the alcohol markers, help keep them from bleeding. Okay, all right, and now we're going to color these in. We'll start with the pumpkins. I'm using the light pumpkin pie. Where are you? There you are. All right, and I'm just going to go over the pumpkins like this. Anybody have their fall decorations or pumpkins? And I have a funny story. Maybe I told this last week. I bought seeds for zucchini plants outside. I have some flower beds that I can see from my studio, and I thought, well, I'll put zucchini plants in here. And I planted 2 hills with 2 zucchini plants in each hill. And the summer went on, and I went out and looked, and I said to my husband, I went out and looked, and here's these round balls growing. I said, I think that's pumpkins or squash. And sure enough, they're little pumpkins. And so I've got to pick them. Something started eating one of them. I'm just going over the dark pumpkin pie where the artist's markings are on the pumpkins. So I was gonna go pick them the other day. There, doesn't that make a difference? Just that, the light and dark. And I said to Mac, my husband, I said, well, did you take those pumpkins that the deer had eaten? And he goes, no, I was going to tell you that they're down in the, we have a hayfield below our house. He goes, they're down in the field. So must be the deer had pulled them off the vine and carried them down to the field. So there are a few other ones that are nice that I can pick and use. Oh, Rosalie, you have your... Rosalie, I am not surprised. Rosalie loves to decorate. I'm sure some of you other ladies have your decorations out too. Okay, so I'm using Daffodil Delight here. This is Daffodil Delight, actually, Margaret. But I'm going to use pecan pie. Oh, I didn't bring it over here. It's not, oh yes I did. This is, nope, that's copper clay. Must be I'm not using pecan pie. Alright, so I'm using copper clay for the centers of the sunflowers. And I'm just going to go in with, this is SU100. And make the centers a little bit darker. That's kind of how sunflowers are. I have Mossy Meadow. Oops, that end is bad. This is light Mossy Meadow. I'm just doing the leaves in light Mossy Meadow. I love to color. Anybody else on here love to color? I don't do it a lot, but it's very relaxing, I think. Alright, so there's the leaves. The corn, if you guys, I don't know, we live in the country and we grow corn. So, thank you, Phyllis. The corn husks, after they get old, they have like little bits of green and kind of a tan color because they fade from them. So I'm going to make these a little bit with that green, and I'm going to add some wild wheat to it. Oh, I forgot to, I'm going to put wild wheat around the center of the sunflowers here. It makes it look more natural. And we're going to add a little bit of wild wheat to our corn husk. We used to sell sweet corn. We would plant almost 2 acres of it and sell it, and when my boys were young. Alright, and this is light Daffodil Delight for our corn cobs here. Alright, so there's our colored image. You guys can see that okay. And I'm just going to run this through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'm not going to put it up there. It'll just take a minute. Yeah, I got to thinking, I really need to get my fall decorations out. I wasn't even thinking about it. I have some nice decorations, and I still have like summery things up. Okay. Running it through here. Alright, so there's our die cut. And this is the die I used from the Rustic Crate set. I've already die cut the crate pieces. And what did I do with them? Oh, baloney. I had them all set to go. I'm looking. As Sue Camfield says, take a sip of whatever you're drinking. Well, okay, I'm going to die cut them quick. And what I'm using is the piece of Autumn, All About Autumn Designer Series paper that looks like wood, because I want it to look like a crate. So when you put your die on this paper, you want to line, this is the front of your crate, you want to line it up straight so your wood grain is going straight. This is the back, and I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, so I'm going to quickly run them through. Oh, Phyllis, you're drinking Pepsi. Good old Pepsi. All right, and actually, okay. Actually, I lost my train of thought there. I will find them as soon as I pick up from doing my live. All right, there's one. There's the back. And we'll use our little take your pick tool and poke out the front. Okay, so to put this crate together, it's very easy, although it took me a bit to figure it out. All these little, you don't have any tabs on the front piece, okay? All of these tabs on the back piece here, you're gonna fold in. There's tabs all the way around the edges on this. And I am just going to take my foam folder and just press that down like that. Alright, I'm going to bring in my liquid glue, put some little dabs of adhesive on here. I've got something on that. Just on your tabs. Okay. And now we're going to adhere this top part onto that. And I'm just going to put pressure on that for a minute. Okay, so now we have this beautiful crate. Isn't that cool? And then you could use those die cuts, those little metal dies to make little hinges to go on your edges if you wanted to there. We're gonna set this will fit in here like that, and I'm gonna use a dimensional to adhere that. Renee, you have water? I drink a lot of water. Sometimes cranberry juice. Alright, and we're just going to slide that down in there. Okay, so there is our window box, and this is going to go on the front of the card here. Just like that. And I'm tending to put it about like that. I'm going to put just adhesive on this lower part. Move it over so the foliage or the pumpkins and flowers are right there on the center. Now let's make our window frame. So we're going to cut 2 1/4 inch pieces of designer series paper, and I'm using that same wood crate paper that looks like the wood crate. I need 2 1/4 inch pieces. Whoops. And then we're going to do another piece that's in a half an inch. And we want the half-inch piece to be about 2 3/4. Right there. And we want these to be about 4. So these are 4 by 1/4 of an inch. I make them just a tiny little bit over, because it's not going to really matter. You'll see why. Alright, so we are going to put our side frames on first. And I'm just running a thin bit of glue up the side here. And we're going to slide this down like that. I'm wondering if that's too, oh, that should be fine. We're going to do the same thing on this side here. Alright, and now for our frame at the top, we are going to, you could leave it like this. I'm going to cut it on a slant so it looks more natural. Like that. And then put dimensionals on the back of it. Hi Joyce, nice to have you here. Okay. So comment and share, and whoever wins will get a nice package of new in color or new gems. Okay, so there's our window front on this card. One more thing I want to add. Well, I won't do it right now. Alright, so for our sentiment piece, we're going to take a piece of this. We're going to cut it 3/4 inches wide, 3/4 of an inch wide, 5 1/4 inch long. And I'm going to put it right down the side here. And I'm going to use Seal Plus. Okay, and let's stamp our sentiment there. And I'm going to stamp, I'm going to use Good Things Take Time. I'm using black memento ink. Looks like I may need to re-ink this pad up. Okay, so there's our Good Things Take Time. And now we're going to add a piece of All About Autumn Designer Series paper here. This is 5 1/4 by 3 1/4. I'm going to add it on the inside part there. All right, so we've got this, we've got this here, and for this piece we are going to turn it over and we are going to put a piece of designer series paper on the back, and I've chosen the All About Autumn that has the pumpkin images. And we're going to make a pocket on the inside. We'll cover our mistake, or my mistake, scoring mistake. Now what I'm going to do is bring my trimmer back in, and I'm going to trim. I'm going to cut off from this corner, the upper right corner, down to the lower left, lining, so this is lined up here, this is lined up down there. And we're going to trim that right off. We can use that for something else. Thank you, Missy. Hi, Donna. Thank you for sharing. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to make this pocket. Now when you make your pocket, you're going to put adhesive here. Well, you don't really need to put it there. We're just going to put it on the bottom like that, and we are going to hold it down. Make sure you don't put adhesive down along your diagonal, because you want that open. And then let me grab a tea bag. Thought I had a tea bag in here and I don't. All right. So anyways, I don't have a tea bag, but you could even do this if you're handing it to someone, or a gift card. This to me, this sentiment sounds like maybe someone's dealing with illness or treatment for illness. So even a couple tea bags or a bookmark would be nice in there. Oh, you're making granola. That sounds yummy. All right, so let me show you the other one I did. Now this one, I think I like the rocker positioning better because it's kind of sitting back here. And I've got this little blackbird on here from the pumpkin patch. I like that. The inside is basically the same kind of thing. And I'm going to use one for every season this week. I've started the Christmas one. I'll just show you the front with the tree. And it has the poinsettias in the box, so be watching for that. And I will be doing some simpler ones too that aren't so detailed and don't take as much time. But yeah, this is a wonderful set to have to use. So thank you so much, gals, and thank you so much for stopping in. And I will have a link for the PDF tutorial on my blog, and you can grab that if you'd like to make this card. So I hope you have a great rest of the week. Take care. Thanks for joining me today. Bye now.